What would it be, Ryan the Great? And today we are talking about, now I guess not a blockbuster move, but a very, very big move from the Kansas City Chiefs. They are trading DeAndre Hopkins the Titans are trading DeAndre Hopkins to the Kansas City Chiefs. And we'll be breaking it down in this video. We'll be asking, what does this mean for the Kansas City Chiefs? And what does this mean for the Tennessee Titans? So we're just going to get right into it. But before we get right into it, guys, make sure you guys subscribe with the post notifications on. Go subscribe to my brother, Linda Gray Vlogs. Make sure you guys subscribe to my second channel at Around the Cod Great. Make sure you guys go follow me on X, Around the Great RTG. Make sure you guys go follow me on TikTok at Around the Great RTG. Make sure you guys go listen to the latest edition of the CR7 podcast. Make sure you guys go follow me on Twitch at Around the Great Podcast. I'm after the latest gentlemen. Let's get right into the video and let's roll that intro. Hey, come on, Stotty. Stop! 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 Red flag! First pitch! Bring him in! Yeah! Oh, damn. Alright, so let's get right into the video. So starting off, let's break down the trade details. First off, Kansas City received DeAndre Hopkins, we know that. But the Titans, they will receive a 2025 fifth-round pick that can become a fourth-round pick if the Kansas City Chiefs reach the Super Bowl and Hopkins plays 60% of the snaps with the Chiefs. The Tennessee Titans will also pick up 2.5 of DeAndre Hopkins' $8 million salary for this upcoming season. So let's break down this trade. What does this trade mean for the Kansas City Chiefs? Well, starting off, I think this is a great move for the Kansas City Chiefs. You get a guy in DeAndre Hopkins, while taking a bit of a hit in production, still had a 1,000-yard season last year, and with not so great quarterback play. I mean, you have Will Levis coming in as a rookie later on in the season. Obviously, he's not too accurate, and, is still being in the works of really being a project quarterback. It's clear that he does still have something in the tank right now. He's not going to be that 1,300-yard receiver that we did see in Houston, but he's going to be the number one receiver on the number one team, which does lead me to believe that he will have about 600 to 700 yards receiving, which would leave him at about, I'd say around 750 yards receiving at the end of this year, maybe 800. Because of the fact that it is a little bit later in the season and he has 100 yards, something around there. Now, will Hopkins fix all the problems that the Kansas City Chiefs have? I don't believe so. Obviously in recent years, he did have a really good catch score that was 75 plus between 2017 and 2022, but that has gone down in the last couple of years. It was at 44 this year. It's a bit up this year, but it is still a bit early in the year. But once again, that could have been because of bad quarterback play last year, but it is still something to look at. With Mahomes, I do expect that to go up. I am a bit of a concern, though, if DeAndre Hopkins can't keep up with the speed of this offense. This offense, very fast receivers, guys that can get off the line of scrimmage, and guys that really like to run those crossing routes and try to take it for an extra 15 yards. I'm not sure if DeAndre Hopkins can do that. If you look at his film, his release in the last couple of years off the line of scrimmage has been a bit slower. Now, hold on, I gotta get back to where I was. I think it will be interesting if it won't be interesting. It will be good if the offensive line can give him time to get open, and it will be able to work out in those one-on-ones. Something that is something to look at here. The Chiefs are 11th currently right now in expected points added on dropbacks this season. Now, that's good for a normal team, but for a team with Patrick Mahomes, they should be a lot higher in that particular category. So I think if you give DeAndre Hopkins a better you put in DeAndre Hopkins in that offense, and you get a good drop back from Mahomes, you give him that one-on-one opportunity. He's one of the better one-on-one receivers in the NFL. While his one-on-one coverage stats have gone down in the last couple of years, he still is better than the average wide receiver. And that's really all what the Chiefs need, and really all what Patrick Mahomes needs to get the job done. From what we have seen ever since the Chiefs traded away Tyreek Hill. But, the Chiefs offense, they run a lot of motion. They like to get guys on islands. Play action also really works well with the Chiefs, especially since there has been a threat of Kareem Hunt, especially in the red zone. He had 2 touchdowns last week against the San Francisco 49ers, so that is something to look at there. We'll see how play action is going to be implemented into this Chiefs offense. But, you trade a conditional 4th-round pick for DeAndre Hopkins. You're paying like a quarter of his salary. He's also a free agent in the off season, so if you don't like him now, you can move it on until next year, or move on from him until next season. So it is what it is, and there has obviously been success with the Chiefs when trading for wide receivers. They've done it in the last couple of years. Kadarius Toney, McCole Hardman, now DeAndre Hopkins, and they've won a Super Bowl in all in those 2 years. We'll see if they do it in the third. Now, if I had to grade this trade for the Chiefs, I'd give them like an A minus, probably. This obviously isn't going to be an A plus because it's not, a top tier receiver. But it's a very, very good trade. You get him at good value. They're paying some of his salary. The Chiefs were supposed to trade for Cooper Kupp, actually, but they didn't put in a high enough bid, or they put in a high enough draft pick offer, so they just ended up going with DeAndre Hopkins instead. Do I blame them? Not really. But what does this mean for the Tennessee Titans? I can't really tell if they're trying to rebuild or not. I don't think they are, because they, had a really good offseason. They rebuilt their defense. They traded for L'Jarius Sneed from the Kansas City Chiefs. They got Pollard. They signed him. They signed Calvin Ridley to a pretty big contract, and they drafted Latham to protect Will Levis. And, I can really only see this in the way that they weren't going to sign DeAndre Hopkins in the offseason, so they just decided to trade him now and not lose him for nothing. Now, honestly, that's probably the best idea. Now, but if you were planning to make a move for him in the offseason, it probably would have been a good idea to keep him around. It could have helped Will Levis's development, even though he wouldn't probably have made the biggest impact in the world. You're not paying him that much. Once again, he is in full $8 million salary. And compared to what, some of the top receivers are making currently, that contract is really, really good. So I don't really think that, money is really anything that has to do with it. But once again, if you weren't planning to sign him in the offseason, you got decent value for him. Amari Cooper was traded for a 3rd-round pick, something around there, to the Buffalo Bills. Hell, he got traded for a 5th-round pick just a few years ago. And, there's not really much to get mad at the Titans about. Obviously, you are losing a weapon here for a team that is supposed to be competing for a playoff spot. So if I had to give this one a grade, I'd say B minus, or honestly, I'd say a C plus. Not really anything. It's not, you didn't do terrible on the trade, but you also didn't really, succeed in any way. I don't think that deserves a very positive grade, in my opinion. But yeah, I think it's a very good trade for the Chiefs, an okay trade for the Titans. That'll do for this video, guys. Make sure you guys subscribe with your post notifications on. Go subscribe to my brother Lyndon Gray Vlogs. Make sure you guys go subscribe to my second channel at Around the COD Great. Make sure you guys go follow me on X, Around the Great RTG. Make sure you guys go follow me on TikTok at Around the Great RTG. Make sure you guys go listen to the latest edition of the CR7 podcast. Make sure you guys go follow me on Twitch at Around the Great Podcast. And as always, Ryan the Great out. Peace.